Who is the most unfunny comedian in your opinion? Kenny Banya. Other than his gig on Risk Management, he is completely insufferable. Brendan Schaub. James Corden. Carlos Mencia. Andy Dick. Piece of actual shit. Ellen. Almost any aspiring comedian on America's Got Talent. Mario Barth. He's always the right answer for this exact question in Germany. Schaub all day. Brendan Schaub. David Williams. More like slimy creep than comedian. Brendan Schaub. Honestly, Dane Cook was funny when I was 12, but his stuff not that great. I never understood the allure of Rosie O'Donnell. I hate to say it, because I relate to some of his qualities as a person, but Pete Davidson is not funny. If your entire first 3 specials are about how much of a pothead you are, that's not even comedy, it's just sad. Does Jimmy Fallon count? I have an irrational hate for his style. Which celebrity do you think was unfairly cancelled? Brendan Fraser. Dude spoke up about being sexually assaulted and was never heard from again until recently. He seems like such a good guy, so I'm glad he's back in the spotlight. Eartha Kitt, original Catwoman. Got blacklisted from Hollywood for calling out the president at the White House about the war. Paul Rubens. Although he has been somewhat uncancelled since. Wasn't Rose McGowan cancelled for basically calling out the shady shit that Harvey Weinstein and others were doing? Janet Jackson. I'm surprised nobody has said this, but Richard Gere. The man was really popular as an actor until he mentioned the poor treatment of Tibet by the Chinese government. Sinead O'Connor and Corey Feldman. Folks can't stand the truth about pedos and the Pope. Barbara Walters is an asshole. Sinead O'Connor. Brendan Fraser. He didn't deserve to be cancelled at all. My 32F mother is still happily married to my stepfather who sexually abused me when I was 8 years old. She made her choice. I'm terribly sorry this happened to you and how your mother didn't support you. I think you should expose what a monster your mother's husband is so people know not to have their kids around him. It's okay, I'll watch him well. She wasn't watching him when he sexually abused her own daughter. They're both disgusting people. Expose him to the family. People like him always make a cover for themselves, whether religion or idealism, so that no one is wrong. Why are you still in contact with these people? I really believe that anyone that knows that a pedophile has attacked a child and they stay on side with the pedophile are just as bad as them. Just as guilt, turning a blind eye. Fuck them, nothing a bullet can't fix. My wife read through my therapy journal and decided she wants a divorce. A divorced household is better than married parents who fight and hate each other. As much as you think the kids never hear things, they hear all of it. I hope you will be better off as co-parents and find people you guys can love. Your marriage didn't come to an end because of the journal. Your marriage ended because most people with unresolved trauma are incapable of sustaining healthy relationships without healing themselves first. It doesn't really sound like the journal entry is what ended the marriage. Almost like either of you was waiting for the next argument until you decided to walk. Divorce and then work on yourself, bro. To heal. Both physically and mentally. Best of luck. You can do it. Jeez. Poor kids. Have you talked to your therapist about how you have no friends? That's a lot of pressure to put on one person, as in your spouse. I think you'll be better off in the long run. I had someone show interest in me for the first time at 45. Loneliness can become addictive. Not as a bad thing though. I can imagine not wanting to risk all that liberty and mechanisms you created to live alone, for a person you barely know. I like your honesty. The world would be a better place if everyone were honest. You have empathy, you thought of her feelings as well as your own. Bro simply said why to a possible booty call. Literal Chad. Happy for you, chap. It's quite bizarre how uncomfortable people are by someone comfortable with solitude. Better to be fulfilled with your own company than to feel alone in the company of another, I think. Do you have an animal companion? That's great, very wise of you. We don't need to stay with someone that we don't like just because the person like us. But always be open to try new things. What is the most Gen X thing? Video arcade. Before Gen X, graphics weren't good enough, and after Gen X, you'd play the games on your own home console. No other generation claimed them like we did. Whatever. The In soundtrack. Watching MTV Headbangers Ball Saturday morning, ready to wreck on the VHS when my favorite bands came on. Mixtapes. The Sony Walkman. Mixtapes. Actual cassette tapes recorded on a boombox from songs on the radio. Bonus for Ramones tunes as part of the mix. Worthlessly looking at scrambled softcore porn on cable has gotta be up there. Swatch watches. Reality bites and singles. Record stores. Found porn in the woods while BMsing. Music videos on MTV. Always having a pencil in the car for the cassettes. Grunge music. Working with a handful of Gen Xers and the only music they can consistently agree on is the Pearl Jam station. Men of Reddit. What is something you'll never understand about women? How are their feet always so cold? How they can magically make things appear in front of them that I've spent 15 minutes looking for. I have a wife and 2 daughters who will bring up issues and problems they encounter. I still have not quite learned that they do not want a discussion about how to solve these problems. Shower temperature. WTF is up with this Mordor water? Why must you feel pain to feel cleansed? How they get out of the shower and do that weird thing on their head with a towel. Then all of a sudden they have this monument on their head. When she asks me what are you thinking and I say nothing, why won't she believe me? How you can talk to your mom on the phone for multiple hours every week. My dad calls me when he needs me to order something on Amazon for him and that's about it. How they always smell so good all of the time. Like, how? I'm a good father. A good husband. A good person. You do deserve better, and showing your kids that self-love by example is another reason they're lucky to have you. You're teaching them never to settle. Get an angry lawyer, a happy therapist. When someone shows you who they are, believe them. I hope you get the divorce going soon. She clearly checked out a while ago. You're already a married single parent. I hope you do find that better place. Good luck. She doesn't deserve you and you're right, you and your kids deserve way better. Good luck. You have every right to get DF out of this relationship. I'm so sorry that this has happened to you because after reading this I've realized that you're an amazing person who deserves way better than this. And so do your kids. We'll get through this. 3. What is your one food you can eat for breakfast, lunch, or dinner? Pizza. Nasi lemak. Burritos. Breakfast burritos, bean burritos, steak burritos. You can stuff any kind of food in a burrito. Potato, eggs, French toast, tacos, a burrito, rice pudding, any major carb. Bread, pasta, potatoes, soup, bibimbap. If you've tried it you'd know it's basically a buffet in a bowl. Might as well mix and match it different ways every meal. Creme brulee, EGG, pho without a doubt. Hash browns, cereal, potatoes. It's true what they say about us Irish. I eat 5-10 pounds a week myself. Here in Canada there is so many different flavors and types, it does matter what province they grow in. Pay has the best, smiley face. I was brought up by family vloggers and it ruined my life. Did your parents think that sharing you for the internet would benefit you in some way or did they realize they were only doing it for themselves? I am sorry that this was your childhood. I recommend reading the book I'm Glad My Mom Died by Jeanette McCurdy as it might resonate with you and your very real, lived experiences. Edit spelling error. Have they ever encouraged you or maybe asked you if you would start your own channel or streaming? Like keep riding off the fame from your family vlogging. My daughter loves to watch Roma and Diana and I've often thought those poor kids must be under so much pressure to look great and have the house immaculate at all times that it must be a shitty way to live. I'm so sorry for what happened to you. And thanks for sharing. I can't help but wonder what it's like for family vlogger kids and now I know I guess. Do you ever contact other family vlogger kids? My daughters blame me for their father's suicide and it has pushed me over the edge. Please tell them about the call. I am so sorry for your pain. This post made me cry. I'm really sorry for this. All of it. I can't imagine how hard things are for you. I do hope you choose life. As you know, choices like this have consequences. One day you will be with him again. It doesn't have to be soon. Print this out, or screenshot it, and send it to them. If you do go through with this, please at least mail a letter first to your kids. Tell them the truth. Oh my. Please don't commit suicide. I'm so sorry for what happened, but you can't go out like this. You need to tell your daughters the truth. You did everything you could. It is not your fault. Please don't. Serious. What is the most terrified you've ever been in your life? The day I forgot that it was a nuclear alarm test day in my country. Nearly skiing off of a cliff in Austria. Had to intentionally let myself fall to stop in time. When I was 11 my dad and I were at the gas station and were in the parking lot, just got back to the car. Just as a bunch of men went inside and shot it up. Choking on food. Anytime I had sleep paralysis before I knew what it was and thought I was haunted. When all the doctors rushed into the hospital room hollering about the baby's heart rate dropping and they needed to get my wife into emergency surgery right now and then wheeled her off. Scared spitless. I was terrified of my mom dying, and she died of cancer. My life has been shit ever since. November 2015 I was mistaken for a deer and shot with a 30.06 for about 20 seconds. I was afraid there would be a follow-up shot.